Swami, who was secretary for Lord Chaitanya, so he experienced all Lord Chaitanya's pastimes firsthand. So then we have also Chaitanya Bhagavat that I will also talk about today. Chaitanya Bhagavat is written by Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is an incarnation of Vyasadeva. We know Vyasadeva, he compiled the Vedic literatures, he compiled the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Puranas, and so on. And he incarnated again in the form of Vrindavan Das Thakur 500 years ago to write down the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So now we will just start this invocation. Let us just fold our hands and offer obeisances to these great personalities who have written down these transcendental literatures. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So this verse that I have chosen today is Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 1-2. Just have to get it on the screen. Okay, so the verse goes like this. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gorgodaya Puspasmanto Chitra Sandao Tamunudo. Mind enough. Shall I not take it down? Where is it? Before I was just pushing this one, then it would come down. Okay, like that, okay. Beyond the material nature lies the realm known as Paravyona, the spiritual sky. Like Lord Krishna himself, it possesses all transcendental attributes, such as the 6 opulences. So here we have the Paravyona. Here where we are now situated, we are here in the material world with a material body. Here we have material elements like earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, and so on. In the spiritual world, in the Paravyoma, in the transcendental world, Lord Sri Krishna has an eternal, blissful, spiritual form that never dies. His body is Sat Chit Ananda. It's full of eternity, it's full of knowledge, and it's full of ever-increasing pleasure. And we, as part and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are originally of that same quality. Just like you have the ocean water, if you take a drop of the ocean, then that will also be salt water. But you are just a little drop of water instead of the whole ocean. That is why we are saying that when Krishna is saying, he's saying, Sarvasya Tyaham Vidisa Nivisto, Malsas Malsas Smriti Akyanam Apohanam Cha, Vedasta Sarva Hameva Vidya, Vedanta Vid Vedakrit Vedavachaham. So Krishna is saying that from me, I'm situated in the heart. of all living entities, and from me come knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So I don't think that we can really say that about ourselves. I mean, somebody can remember what they ate for breakfast like last Monday, right? So it is like, that's the difference between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and us. Krishna, he is all-knowing all the time. Since time immemorial, he sits in the heart of each one of us. He also sits in the heart of all the animals, of all living entities. And he is directing our wanderings, like, because we are situated, the soul is situated on the body, which is made of the material energy like a machine. And the purpose of this machine is to realize the soul, like the soul, our eternal relationship with God. So Krishna, therefore, he's coming from this paravyoma, and then this is again Radha and Krishna. Radha, Krishna. Yeah, you see here is Krishna together with his pleasure potency, Sri Radha. She is the best servant of Krishna. And Krishna also has Balaram. Balaram is the first expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is Vamsa. He has the same potency like Krishna. The only difference between Krishna and Balaram is that Krishna is blackish and Balaram is white. So, and their attitude is also different. Like Krishna accepts service, and Lord Balaram, he gives service. Yeah. So let me just see here. So here it said Sri Krishna, Say Krishna Navadvipa Sri Chaitanya Chandra, Say Bala Atma Sai. What is that? Sangha Sri Nityananda. Sorry, my voice, I just came from 48 degrees in Ghana in West Africa, and this weather just sneezing. That original Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip as Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram appeared with him as Lord Nityananda. So here we see Lord Chaitanya in the yellow dress, just like we have here. They have appeared not only in Navadvip in West Bengal, they have also expanded them in innumerable forms and spread their mercy all over the world. We have hundreds and thousands of temples today all over the world. Even in Ghana, in Africa, Kenya, where I was also, just unlimited, and temples and forms of Sri Sri Gaurnitai. They're so merciful that Radha and Krishna, if you have Radha and Krishna deities at home, you better be careful, because they have a high standard. I used to cook for them. I slept 3 hours in the night for 1 year, because they are just very demanding, okay? They are very, very merciful, but they are very demanding, Radha and Krishna deities. But Sri Sri Gaurnitai, they appeared in West Bengal, in Mayapur, and in that area. And there it is said that when you go to Mayapur, even when you lay down to sleep, it is considered full dandavat. Yeah, just you are there, you perform devotional service. It's so pure. It's so merciful. Yeah, so no. So here they said Sarvarupa Asvadaya Krishna Sevananda Sevara Ramakura Sankanityananda. In all the forms, he takes the transcendental bliss of serving Krishna. That same Balaram is Lord Nityananda, the companion of Lord Gaurachandra. So here is a little class, just some points from Srila Prabhupada about this very important day. So Prabhupada is saying, so today, the appearance day of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is Baladev. Baladev Tattva. Vrajendananda Nase, Satyachuta Haile Se, Balaram Hai Nitai, who was formerly the son of Nanda Maharaj. He has appeared as the son of Satya Devi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother name was Satya Devi. So Krishna is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Balaram is Nityananda Prabhu. Vrajendananda Naye, Sita Sutta Haile Se, Balaram Hai Nitai. So Balaram, in Vedic literature, it is said, Nayam Atma Bala Binai Labhyam Nava Huna Sutena. So Bala means strength. Sometimes some rascal philosophers, they take it that Bala means bodily strength. They propagate this philosophy that unless you are bodily stout and strong, you cannot achieve spiritual salvation. You must be very strong and stout and eat meat and fight, and then you will get a next spiritual birth. No, this Bala, this strength is different. This is spiritual strength. The difficulty of the present situation is that actually we are moving because of spiritual strength, but they have no information of the spiritual strength inside. They are thinking of material strength. That is expressed here. Ahankara maite hoya nita pada pasariya asaya satya korimani. This is due to Ahankara. Ahankara vimudatma kalchahamiti manyate. Those who are vimuda, especially rascals, and vi means visheshaham, particularly Ahankara vimudatma. The same thing which is spoken in the Bhagavad Gita. Narottam Das Thakur says the same thing in a plain Bengali language. Ahankara matehoya nitai pada. By the spell of Maya, Ahankara vimudatma kaltiham iti manyate. They are thinking that we are independent. We can do whatever we like. This is called Ahankara vimudatma. Under false pretext, false prestige, everyone is thinking that we are independent. We can find out the solution to the problems of life by material adjustment, so on. So that is our material disease. Ahankara vimudatma, bewildered. They do not understand that the real strength is spiritual strength. We see daily that a very strong man, very powerful man, very good brain, very good scientist. So where is the strength? The strength is atma. As soon as the atma, the soul, goes out of this body, so intelligent, so strong, and so many things, that doesn't mean anything. That's the difference between a dead man and a living man. So, you see, we can have so many qualifications, materially speaking. We can be extremely intelligent. We can have, it's just amazing what people, they can remember. How many, I just saw an app that a girl, she was photographing a book and she could read it like in a few minutes, the whole book, because the book was in her head, speaking very fast, the whole book in a few minutes. So imagine that some people, they receive all this knowledge, hundreds and maybe thousands of books. But what is the purpose of all this knowledge that will increase your better, maybe material situation? You may get a better car, you may get a better house, you may get better roads than we have in Africa. That's very nice. But all of these material things, ultimately, I have seen the difference now between Denmark and West Africa that is very undeveloped. It's like Denmark, like I think 60, 70 years ago, and they have no money for smartphones, and they don't have money for, I should not say junk food, then I can get in trouble, but you know, like, what's it called?
Fast food? Fast food?
Fast food, exactly. Fast food, they don't have money for fast food. So what I've seen is that all my so-called famous cake, they are not at all popular. They are not used to sugar. So they have such strong bodies, right? They can carry 50 bottles on their head. And if I put 3 on my head, because my body is full of sugar since I could walk nearly. It's not, I have beautiful parents, but it's just that I got the wrong diet many years. And it's just that, you know, when the children don't have smartphones, they actually talk to you. And if I'm not in the school one day, then 5 kids will come and knock on my door. Hey mom, we're just checking on you. Oh, that was nice. Thank you, boys or girls, yeah. And you invite them in and give them something to eat and so on. But they are just so grateful for small things. Because of Helle, who is sitting here, she sent a kind donation during Christmas. So when I had a Christmas party for these kids, 40 of them in our small house, I had bought 40 presents for 10 crowns each. And you should see their faces. And it was just, everyone said, I bought, you know, when you are throwing the dart, yeah, and hula hop, you know, some cups and some small for their water, thermo and so on. And they all said that when they left that it was the best Christmas party ever. So that school is 105 little children. They're in the library, there is no light, and so no fan, and but still, they are number 2. They're my class. They just graduated and went on to boarding schools, and I was so nervous how they will perform because most of them don't have textbooks, and they don't have smartphones. So how do they study? But still they are number 2, most of them in their class. So I'm just saying that we put so much knowledge in our system, but these children, all of them, 105, 50% Christians, 35% Hare Krishna children, and 5% Muslims. All of them come to Deity greeting and Guru Puja every day for Prabhupada in the temple, which is just next door. And so I'm seeing that by doing that and having that energy and that focus on Krishna, when they actually study, they are very focused. And I'm not saying that, you know, we are not have any problems there. It's just different kind of problems. And sometimes one feels when you have not seen, you see many of them have only food once a day. Then you come back to Denmark, and then many problems here. They seem a little luxurious. I think we go back one more. Yeah. So here it is said that unless you come to Radha Krishna, you cannot get real pleasure. There. So if you want to dance and get pleasure, don't dance independently. Dance with Krishna. Then you'll be happy. The dancing is there, but dancing without association of Krishna. Just like here in our temple, we are also eating. You know, every Sunday we are eating. Super, yeah. And but we are eating the remnants of foodstuff left by Krishna, offered on the altar. This is real pleasure. It's not that we are stopping eating. We are not stopping eating. We are not dry philosophers. Krishna Bharadayamaya Kuri Jiva Joy. Svar prasadana dilabai. All over the world, we are eating Krishna's prasadam, and we have got good experience. At least 10,000 men and women, they are taking Krishna prasadam, but we have no anxiety. Oh well, where's my temple president? Okay, maybe he has some anxiety, but most of us don't have any anxiety. We have no anxiety. A family consists of a few members. They are full of anxiety. How to maintain the family? And we are maintaining a family of 10,000 members. We have no anxiety. Just see practically, we have no anxiety. We require thousands and thousands of rupees for maintaining Europe, America, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, a costly affair. But because we are under the, Ukraine and Russia and but because we are under the shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, Balaram, we have no anxiety. That means material life. Material life means anxiety. You cannot avoid anxiety. If you lead a material life, then you will be in anxiety. So you see, like here, these pictures here, they can be a little bit scary to see, but many people, when we go on book distribution, they have this idea that when you have reached the human form, that then you cannot degrade your soul into a lower form. But Lord Krishna is saying that this verse here, Yam vapi smaram pavam chatatiyanti kalevaram tam tam evaiti kauntya sadasabhava bhavitaha, that whatever state of being you remember when you quit your body, that, oh son of Kunti, that state you will attain without fail. So many years when I was a child in the school, I had a friend and she had a little hamster. I'm getting a hamster.
Hamster.
Hamster. Okay. And she was so fond of her little hamster that she was always looking and hawking and caring for her hamster. I also had 2 chipmunks, but they were all over the place. But she was like totally into her hamster. And in school she was eating the carrots like this. So it is natural that we love our pet animals, and especially it's wonderful that children they learn to see the soul and love animals also, and that they can understand that that there's a spirit soul inside, and so on. But we just have to be careful that when we grow up, we see so many people, especially in Denmark, and that they have dogs, and once. Just like 5 years ago, I was in this park just over here with Damus Lake, and it was a little foggy, and I was just walking slowly and looking at the scenery. It was nothing really there. It was like a foggy day, and I saw 2 people like me, my age. They were walking like me, and they looked so bored. They looked nearly, I was chanting with my big bag in my pocket. So I was feeling quite fine. But these grown-up people, they came walking and they were like, when is the sun coming out? When is something going to happen? And then they have a dog in a leash. And then they approach each other, these 2 people, and as they came closer to each other, they pretended that they were fine, each of them, but they wanted to talk to each other, but they were like too shy. In Denmark, we are often too shy to talk to strangers on the street. maybe because of the cold and we are all like covered over in 50 layers of cloth, yeah, compared to warmer countries. But these two people, they came closer, but then their dogs, you know, they were like, the tail was wagging, you know, and then they just had such a good time, these two dogs. And then when that energy from the dogs, then these two people who were just like in their own little miserable thoughts that something had to happen. Then because the dogs were feeling like, yes, yeah, something is happening here, here's my partner for the day, my good playmate, yeah. So why is it that people nowadays, we have more difficult time in connecting than the animals, right? So what I saw is just that these dogs started dancing around each other and, you know, they were very intimate, like very fast. Anyhow, we shouldn't be so intimate. Anyway, but the point is just that these grown-up people, they got so much life, they got so much energy and enthusiasm, yeah, because of the energy from the dog. But the problem is just that we have the fifth canto in Srimad Bhagavatam with Yada Bharat, and when he died, he had a deer, and it was so awesome, it was so adorable, and he just meditated on this deer, and then he took care of it, but then when it died, suddenly died, yeah, then he was thinking of the deer, and his next life he became a deer. So these are true stories. So these pictures we saw before, they are true stories. Like if we become too attached to something in the material world, we should care with our family members. We should have natural affection for each other and animals, but we should always remember that they are all just souls and that they are gifts to us from God to dovetail in the service of Krishna. And now it's Nityananda's Hayodasi. So what happened is that when Lord Chaitanya, he appeared 500 years ago in Bengal, he appeared as the most merciful incarnation, but there was one who was even more merciful than Lord Chaitanya, and that was his older brother, Nityananda. Nitya means eternal, and Ananda means pleasure. So Nityananda means eternal, full of pleasure. And so when Nimai, Lord Chaitanya, when he was studying in Navadvip, before that in Ekachakra, I forgot I think it was 1474, then Lord Nityananda, he took birth in Ekachakra. And he was a golden little baby, totally molten gold, and big lotus eyes, and he just came, you know, like in his original form, spiritual form, and his mother Padmavati, his father Harai Pandit, they just totally loved their little Nitai. And every day Nitai would gather his small friends, and they would play pastimes, and they would play Agasura Putana, they would play Dhenukasura, Agasura, all of these pastimes from Krishna book. And nobody had told these stories to Nityananda. So when somebody asked him, how do you know all these stories, all the detail? He said, these are my pastimes. Because naturally it was him, yeah, from the spiritual world taking birth. Then, when I cannot go into all this detail, how long time do I have?
Until 5 o'clock.
Oh, I have until 5 o'clock. Oh, I have much more time than I thought. Great. So one day, Nityananda, he had gathered all his small friends, and they were playing. The Ramayana, the war, and Nityananda, he is also in a previous yoga, he was Lakshman. Just like Krishna, he appears again and again Ramachandra. So when he appeared as Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, his brother was Lakshman. Yeah. So naturally Nityananda is Lakshman. So one day the children, they were playing Ramayan war, and then suddenly Nityananda, he was playing Lakshman, but suddenly Indrajit, yeah, the son of Ravana, he suddenly shot a Shakti weapon at Lord Nityananda Lakshman. And Nityananda, as a little boy, he just fainted. He just lost consciousness. And then he was laying there. All the boys were like, what to do now? Because his mind was fully into that pastime. Then one of the boys remembered, Lakshman, he can be revived. Who is Hanuman? One boy said, me, I am Hanuman. Okay, go to the Himalayas and quickly get this little louder. Yes, so he bought this Suvani, Sanjavani, yeah, herbs, yeah. And he flew back Hanuman, and the Ayurvedic doctor put it in front of little Lakshman's, Nitai's nose, and Nitai stood up. Gauranga, Haribol! Yeah, back to life. So then one day, suddenly one day, Nitai had become 12 years old, and then a mendicant came to visit Ekachakra, and Harai Pandit and Padmavati, they were very pious brahmanas, and they invited that pure-hearted sannyasi into their house, and they fed him nice prasadam, they gave him a nice bed and everything to the best of their ability. So, and the brahmana was the sannyasi was very grateful. And then in the morning when he was leaving, Harai Pandit said, please, you are a sannyasi, it is a duty of the household to give you any charity you want. Please, how can me and my family, Padmavati, how can we serve you? You can ask me anything. And the sannyasi, he said, well, I am just on a pilgrimage to many, many holy places, and I need an assistant. So I would like to take Nityananda. And Hadai Ocha, he said, Nitai, you want to take Nitai? And the Brahmana said, well, and then Hadai Ocha, he was thinking that if he takes Nitai, Nityananda with him, you know, Nityananda, he was so dear to his parents that his father would not go anywhere without his son. When they went shopping, when they went to the field, anywhere, he would always take Nityananda with him. So there you have this sannyasi, and so then he was in this dilemma, just like when Dasharatha, he was asked by Vishwamitra one time. Vishwamitra had some Rakshasas millions of years ago who came and they destroyed all their fire sacrifices, they passed urine on it, and they just did all kinds of, threw all kinds of things and destroyed their offerings. So Vishwamitra didn't know what to do, so he went to Dasharatha, King Dasharatha, and he asked him, I know the power of Ram. At that time Ram was 16 years old, and he said, please give me Ram to destroy and kill these Rakshasas. And Dasharatha also, he was like so attached to Ram, so he also nearly fainted and lost his life, nearly. But Ram came back. But then he was cursed by Kaikeya to go in exile. later on that totally killed Dasharat, Maharaj Dasharat. But here we have a 12-year-old boy, and he's asked by the sannyasi to go with him on pilgrimage, never to return. And at that time, 500 years ago in Bengal, even in Denmark, we did not have smartphones, we did not even have a normal phone, we did not have any kind of communication, we didn't even have post office. It was like not even a simple phone, right? So they just knew that they will never see him again. So, but Hadai Pandit, he was such a pious brahmana that he just felt, this is my duty to give this, whatever the sannyasi asked, just like Dasharat, Maharaj Dasharat, I should do the same, even if it will kill me. So Nityananda, he then left with the sannyasi, and a short time after, actually the whole village of Ekachakra, everyone just loved Nitai. They just, all their children used to play all these pastimes from Krishna Lila together with Nitai. And their mothers would cook different preparations, and they would rejoice when one demon was killed every day, and the little children would come home and tell their parents, Mommy, Akasura is killed now. Krishna did this, he jumped in his mouth and he expanded himself, and the mother was like, Jai, Jai, and they would give small sweets to all the children to celebrate, yeah. And then when suddenly Nitai was no more in Ekachakra, it was so, I should not give class, it just became lifeless, yeah. It like just in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Chaitanya Vrindavan Das Thakur, it is described that Ekachakra just died out, it just dried out. Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, they just died very shortly after Nimai had left, and soon all the inhabitants just left also. But where did they go? Of course, they went back to the spiritual world. They were eternal associates of Sri Nitai, and they just didn't want to stay anymore in the material world, so they left their bodies and went back to the spiritual world, just like all the inhabitants of Ayodhya who loved Ramachandra, they also all went back to the spiritual world. But then Nityananda, he went on pilgrimage all over India for more than 20 years. And then after visiting all the holy places, he finally reached Vrindavan. And he knew that that Nimai, Lord Chaitanya, in the meantime had taken birth in West Bengal, in Navadvip. But he did not go to Navadvip before Lord Chaitanya had started the Sankirtan movement, like the chanting of the holy name. So Lord Chaitanya, when he appeared in the first, I forgot how many years, but he was a scholar. He was a Sanskrit scholar. He could defeat anyone. All big pandits in the whole of India, they came to debate to Navadvip. Navadvip was like the center of education. And anyone that came in front of Nimai, Nimai could just, he says Shrutidhara, he could remember anything. Some Pandit would say like 100 verses, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He would tell, just say 100 verses during the glorification of Mother Ganga, like the wind. And then he would say to Lord Chaitanya, so what do you think? 100 verses, Lord Chaitanya said, well, verse 55, there is this and this grammatical fault in it. And this Pandit, he was surprised, first of all, that he could remember all the 100 verses, and then that he could find fault with it. So in the night, this Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he came home. He said, he was crying, he was like bewildered. What happened? I have conquered everyone in India, and then there is this young boy. And he was then praying to Mother Saraswati, who is a goddess of learning. And he was like so disturbed that he had been defeated. So he was like, why did you do that to me? So Mother Saraswati appeared in Lord Chaitanya's dream. No, sorry, in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's dream. And she said that actually, Nimai, Lord Chaitanya, he is no other than your supreme worshipful Lord, Sri Krishna. He just has appeared here in Navadvip to spread the glories of the holy name. You should go and surrender unto him. So the next day, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he then came and surrendered unto Nimai, just like hundreds and thousands of other scholars also did. And then Lord Chaitanya, he started the Sankirtan movement. He asked all his students to get out on the street, take the mridanga and symbols just like we have here. Like this one, we should have every Saturday in Copenhagen, downtown. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah, so they then went all over Navadvip and started the Sankirtan movement, and they were tried to be stopped in so many ways. But when Lord Nityananda, when he was in Vrindavan and he heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had started the Sankirtan movement, he immediately came, started walking. He was ecstatic that they are eternal brothers, yeah, and now they wanted to, he wanted to unite. So when Lord Nityananda, he came to Navadvip and met Lord Chaitanya, it was like two bodies that just melted in each other. And Lord Nityananda, he wanted to serve Lord Chaitanya, and he wanted to prove that Lord Chaitanya is actually none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya was always trying to conceal his real identity, because nowadays in Kali Yuga there are so many unscrupulous people who claim to be God. They wake up in the morning and then they have a dream and then they proclaim themselves to be an incarnation. So Lord Chaitanya knew that. So he never said that he's God. But Nityananda, he found a plan. He was thinking that Lord Chaitanya came to deliver the most fallen souls. So one day, Lord Chaitanya said to Nimai, Nityananda and Haridas, you two, you go out from door to door and you knock on everybody's door and you ask them, please chant Krishna's holy name. Please worship Krishna and please worship Krishna and chant his name, and he is your mother and your father. So Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they would go, Lord Nityananda with Haridas Thakur, they would go door to door every single day. And some people, they were like, yes, I will do it. There's time they didn't have books, so they just went door to door. And some people said, who are you? You're just coming here in disguise just to steal something? Get out. And then in the night, Lord Nityananda and Haridas, they would come back, and Lord Chaitanya with his big lotus eyes and golden form and long flowing hair, he would ask to give the report of the day. And Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, they would say, this person said that and this person said that. And when they said that, people were not favorable, that they would not chant. Lord Chaitanya said, I will cut them to pieces. And Lord Nityananda said, no way, give us one more chance. And then one day, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, they saw two drunkards. They were so drunk that they could not stand up. They were fat and they were lazy and they were always just drinking. They had been raping people. They had been putting people's houses on fire. They were always, the list of Chitragupta Yamaraj servant has no end to what these two brahmanas, how degraded they had become. They were eating cows, they were flesh, anything, just drinking and eating and drunk. So Lord Nityananda said to Haridas, these two, we are going to deliver these two. And Haridas said, well, I'm your assistant wherever you bring me, but I think, are you sure? And all the people in Navadvip said, don't go close, don't go close. These two, yeah, they can do something. It's not safe. But Nityananda, anyway, I have very little time, so I will just take the essence. One day, Nityananda, he came back, and he said to these two drunkards, chant Krishna's name, worship Krishna, he's your mother, he's your father. And this Madhai, he took an earth pot and boom, he just threw it and hit Nityananda here, yeah? And all the blood started coming. And when he did that, all the townspeople, they ran to Lord Chaitanya in his home. And they said, Madhai, the crazy one, the drunken one, he has hit Nityananda, blood is flowing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started running. He was running toward the place where these two drunkards were with Nityananda. And he was saying, Chakra, Chakra! And his Sudarshan Chakra just appeared. And then when Madhai, he wanted to hit Nityananda again, but at that time, Jagai, the other brother, he said, why do you do that? He didn't do anything. He's a sannyasi, just leave him alone. And just at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived with the chakra. And then Nityananda said, no, Jagai, he tried to stop Madhai from hurting me again. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you were stopping Jagai, you were stopping Madhai. And then he embraced Jagai, yeah. And Jagai, he just floated in ecstasy. And he just became a pure devotee just by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And then Madhai, he said, what about me? We are like two brothers, we do everything together. And Lord Chaitanya said, you cause blood to flow from my Nityananda. You will rot in hell forever. But he said, there's one way you can be saved. That is, you go and ask Nityananda for help, for mercy, for forgiveness. And Madhai, he prostrated himself at Lord Nityananda's lotus feet, who embraced him. And Lord Chaitanya said, Nityananda, what do you think about him? Nityananda said, my Lord, if I have done any pious activity, I give them all to Madhai. It doesn't matter, I don't feel any pain, I'm all right. Please, my Lord, give mercy, give pure love of Krishna also to Madhai. And then Lord Chaitanya said, let us all have kirtan, Jai. Now we will have kirtan and we will celebrate the mercy incarnation of Lord Nityananda, that even the most fallen of Jagai and Madhai, they could be delivered. So can we, each one of us. Hare Krishna.